What up? What it do? It's your boy JDQ with VISIONEYEVIEWTV Shorts Live. All right, where we do attempt and try. I know attempt and try is basically the same word, but I like being extra. We do attempt and try to bring you the latest music / entertainment industry news, plus more, with each article that we find or deem interesting or funny or something, within about 5 minutes or less. Whether or not we are actually able to pull that off tonight, I have absolutely no idea. But we're gonna try, like we always try, right? And hope for the best. We have a few articles that are already lined up and tapped up. For those of you who are already here, like Miss Veronica, and anyone else who is here but I can't see your name, I'd like to thank you guys in advance for being here. And as always, for every single one of you who stop by, even if it's for a few seconds, a few minutes, or for the entirety of the show, we are, and when I say we, I mean the team and myself, we are extremely grateful and thankful for those of you who stop by for however long you stop by for. Um, and in advance, like I said in the live chat earlier, um, blessings and love to every single one of you guys in advance. All right, so it is officially 8:40 p.m. Eastern Time here in Florida, so we're gonna kind of get right into it. For those of you who were like, entered the stream and y'all saw like the looped intro that I play, the reason behind that is very simple. It's for two reasons. The reason number one is to give time for people to show up before I start the show, right? I try to be as considerate as I can with time, but also I don't want anyone to miss out, because in the past I've had to repeat myself a billion times just because someone got here like way later. So I try to avoid that, and that's why I play a looped intro for a few minutes before I officially start the show to give people time to get here, right? The other reason is sometimes I won't have all the tabs up and ready to go right away. So it just gives me time to like make sure I have all the tabs up on my desktop, before starting. But anyways, that being said, we're gonna touch on some of the latest industry news real quick because I know that's kind of what some of you guys came here for. So I'm like, I'm kind of like Kevin Hart in that one stand-up special where he's talking about, I'm gonna give you one, I'm gonna give you what you want, I'm gonna give you what you want, right? But at the same time, I give you what you want, but also what you need. So one of the latest breaking news, right, which I actually heard about earlier today, is about TEKASHI69. So the headlines read, TEKASHI69's girlfriend arrested in Palm Beach for alleged battery of rapper. Um, Georgina Guillermo Diaz, who also raps under the stage name Yailin La Más Viral. That's crazy. So her real first name isn't even Yailin, it's Georgina. Georgina. Okay. Was arrested on charges including aggravated battery with a deadly weapon and obstructing justice, an arrest report said. The girlfriend of rapper TEKASHI69 was arrested on battery and other charges after she allegedly attacked the rapper and damaged his Bentley in Palm Beach, which, by the way, is one of my hometowns. I grew up in West Palm Beach. I know the Palm Beach area somewhat well, and it just kind of like, it gave me a little butterflies. Like, wow, that's one of my hometowns. I'm not happy it happened, but I'm happy it happened in Palm Beach. Anyways, it says Georgina Guillermo Diaz, aka Yailin La Más Viral, who also raps on the stage name Yailin La Más Viral, was arrested by the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office late Thursday on charges including aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, battery, property damage, damage criminal mischief, and obstructing justice, and a report said. The arrest report has the name of the alleged victim redacted but lists his occupation as singer. And videos posted to social media shows he's TEKASHI69, whose real name is Daniel Hernandez. The videos show TEKASHI69 dressed in a red or orange sweatshirt, black pants, and Wit being attacked multiple times by the blue-haired 21-year-old Guillermo Diaz. The way they typed it in here, it just makes it sound like a dude because they're missing the first name. Guillermo Diaz is like probably like middle and last name, but Georgina is the first name, but whatever. According to the report, deputies had responded to a home for a domestic, domestic V word call, and were told that the victim what the heck is this? Oh, this is in the way. No wonder. We're told by the victim that he and Guillermo Diaz, again, it just makes it sound like another dude. It's just weird. Had been in a verbal argument throughout the day due to her thinking that he had been looking at other women. He said he tried to leave so they could cool down, but that's when she started to hit him in the home's driveway, the report said. My goodness. Georgina grabbed him by his hair, then kicked the driver side mirror of his Bentley, breaking it, the report said. One of the videos posted to social media showed her kicking the pricey, multicolored car. The report said the victim went into his garage, but Georgina prevented him from closing the door, then grabbed a 2x4 and hit him with it. He then calls 911, but as he has his phone in his hand, she hits it with the 2x4, knocking it to the ground. The report said both the incident in the garage with the 2x4 and the phone smacking were also seen in the social media videos. At some point, Guillermo Diaz made her way into the Bentley and broke the gear shifter, then picked up a ground stake and hit the windshield, breaking it, the report said. The victim then bear hugged her to stop her as Georgina pulled his hair, the report said. Georgina told deputies that the rapper had wanted to go to a recording studio, but she didn't want to go but couldn't leave because he had her money, passport, and phone, the report said. She said she became upset and decided to kick the driver's side mirror and hit the windshield to cause him financial hardship because he would not give her money or her passport. Georgina was arrested and booked into jail. At a court hearing Friday, she was granted a $9,000 bond. Her attorney, Lorenzo Perez, said she'd post bond and expected the charges would be dropped. This case will be resolved in a positive way, I'm sure, especially when the victim is, in this case, Mr. Hernandez, is asking the prosecution to drop the case. And he's also here waiting to make sure everything's going smoothly for a client. Georgina was previously married to Puerto Rican rapper Anuel AA. TEKASHI69 has had a busy year in South Florida. In March, he was hospitalized after he was brutally beaten by a group of men. I remember that. In August, he was arrested in Palm Beach County for failing to appear in court on charges stemming from a traffic violation. I think, I could be wrong, but I think he actually paid to like bail her out already. I could be wrong, but I feel like that's what I saw in on one of the shows that were talking about this earlier today. And I think he bragged about it too on social media. I think I'm gonna probably confirm this like before the show ends, but I think he not only like paid for her like bond to like for them to release her, but he was like talking like mad crap about like her attorneys and a bunch of other stuff, kind of like saying like, you know, say what you want about me, you know, that supposedly I'm this and that, but who paid for her bond, who paid to bail her out, etc., etc., etc. You know how it goes. Real quick, huge pause. Huge shout out to the beautiful, lovely, amazing Emily Rose. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. All right. So before we go on to the next topic, actually, hold on. Before we go to the next topic, let me just double check something real quick because I have a separate page here open. Okay, yeah. All right. So yeah, I'm going to try to play a few seconds of a video. I normally don't do this because I don't like getting strike with like copyright or whatever, but I'm gonna test my waters here. I mean, test the waters here. Cross your fingers, pray that this video doesn't get flagged for whatever reason. But I'm gonna play this video for a few seconds just so you guys can see a little bit of the situation altercation. All right, here we go. Yeah. So yeah, the earlier article pretty much summed it up nicely. Wow. All right. So y'all saw that. Well, here, let me put it from here. Look at her. Dang. She hit his hand too, because when she smacked the phone, she also smacked his hand at the same time. Yeah. And by the way, I want to give you guys a quick update on my father's situation, because I saw something in the live chat and it just made me want to keep you guys updated on something. But so for those of you who are part of this channel, right, and who keep up with like me and like my family and everything that's been going on, I'd like to thank you guys for those of you who have been praying for my father's situation and the procedure that he was going to go through, that he went through already yesterday, or at least it's like the initial stages of the procedure, I guess. But from what I understand and from what I heard my mother talking about earlier, the initial procedure, um, was a success. And I'd like to thank you guys, at a distance, for those of you who were like praying for him and asking about him and all that stuff. I want to thank you guys in advance. I really do appreciate the prayers and good wishes and all that stuff. So there's that. Um, all right, let's let's go on to the next article real quick without wasting too much time. Here, it's the other one. All right, so this is by WJCL.com, and the headlines read: New music video from Savannah rapper Quando Rondo facing federal charges goes viral on YouTube. Just days after being arrested by the FBI on federal drug and gun charges, Savannah rapper, and when they say Savannah, I think they mean Georgia. It's hard to say Georgia. Georgia rapper Quando Rondo has released a new music video that's garnering a lot of attention on YouTube. Um, let's play the video, shall we? If it lets me. I don't think it'll let me. It's not letting me. Dang, this sucks. I don't know why it's not letting me. It's weird. Anyways, let's read what it says. The rapper, real name Taekwon Bowman, was indicted with more than a dozen others months ago on state, gang, and drug charges. He pleaded not guilty to the state charges and was released on bond, of course. Bowman is being accused of violating the Street Gang Terrorism and Prevention Act for being in a manager role of the Rolling 60s gang. Bowman has pleaded not guilty to the charges. The video, which alludes to his recent legal troubles, includes clips from WJCL news coverage. Watch the music video below. Oh, here it is. Okay. All right. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but I guess I'll play like a few seconds of it.
Andre, light him up. Hey, Q, all these demons still they want to drink. Keep it real, I need some.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
Thugger hit the county for some gang shit. They loaded,
Okay, so it has clips of it, but not with the actual. All right. Real quick, does anyone know what? Let's see if I find it again. This right here. What I feel like, is this like a? what do you call it? What's that one religion called? No, is that I can't believe I forget the name of the religion now. Um, but I think y'all know what I'm trying to ask. But is that the symbol or something like of that religion that I'm thinking of? Because it looks like it could be. I don't know. If anyone knows what that is, just let me know. Um, before we get on to the actual other articles that I do want to bring to you guys, Veronica says I don't know. Islam, yes, thank you. That looks like an Islamic symbol. If I've ever seen it, I don't know what that means. So I don't know what it all like means, but if someone knows after watching this stream or video, just let me know in the comment section. I'm just genuinely curious. Before we switch over to the next article that I have lined up over here, um, I do want to briefly uh, ask any one of you who is in the live chat or whatever the case may be, if anyone here aside from Emily, because I know Emily saw it already, I believe twice if I'm not mistaken, um have y'all seen Leave the World Behind? Matter of fact, I'll be more specific. I'll ask Veronica, have you seen Leave the World Behind from Netflix? And if you have seen it, I would like to hear your opinion of it, your feedback. You haven't seen it yet? Okay. So I do highly suggest that you watch that stream. Only because, oh, you don't have Netflix. That's a tough one. I would let you borrow my account, but it's not my account, so I can't do that. But I think there's places online that you can stream the actual like movie on. You'd have to look around and search what website is safe to use to do that. But I know there's like online streaming services that where you don't need Netflix to like necessarily like watch it. But anyways, that's not the point. The point is, I do highly suggest and recommend everyone to watch that movie. And the only reason why I'm saying that is because for over a year now, I have actually little by little like warned, um, of something like what happens in the movie of like happening. And the fact that they came out with that movie and it basically showed perfectly like what I have been warning about for over a year now. I want to say it's been like 2 years probably. Okay. Uh, Let me know what you found out about that symbol, and I'll appreciate it. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is, that movie, it has a lot of Easter eggs of what potentially is about to come our way. Um, Not only like in America, like here in America, but just in general around the world, little by little, but probably starting in America. The start of a potential like civil war, right? Unrest, um, and the implosion of the United States, basically. And I guess the reason I'm bringing all this up is I want everyone to be prepared. I want everyone to take as many cautionary action as possible, right? I don't want anyone to be left in the dark. I don't want anyone to be like clueless and scared. And okay, symbol there is a raven for, I guess, Memo Benjamin. You might be right, man. You might be right. Yeah, and I was asking for anyone to like pretty much let me know what it like meant. Okay, interesting. So already, okay. So we know what he's about. Which, by the way, Memo, I think I'm going to make you into a moderator only because, you've been here for a while now. Always pretty much conducted yourself in a very positive manner. So, why not? So just made a mammal part of the blue team. So, but anyways, on one of my last streams, if I'm not mistaken, I was pretty much giving, I don't want to say necessarily like survival advice because I'm not a survivalist. I'm not a professional when it comes to anything of the sort. However, I did give everyone um, little like tips and um, suggestions on what a lot of us or all of us should be doing when it comes to staying prepared in advance for stuff like this, right? For like a world crisis type of event, or like a blackout type of event, or the grid being knocked out type of event, etc., etc. And here, let me change the image on the screen because I don't like having that stuff on the screen. Let me put this one, I guess. Boom, there. Now I have to stare at the other thing. But anyways, I was telling actually Emily earlier today. I was like, like we have to think 10 steps ahead of everything that potentially might happen within the coming like months or year or a couple of years. I was saying stuff like, print the heck out of everything you can. And when I say everything, I mean like account balances, personal documentation, citizenship, ownership of whatever you do own. If you own land, if you own a house, if you own a vehicle, whatever the case may be, make sure you have physical evidence and make sure it's as up to date as possible. And on top of that, make sure that you're protecting that documentation and paperwork within like a plastic or lamination or anything that will keep it dry and untampered. These are just some of the things that I was telling not only Emily, but just I believe I said it on here on a stream recently too. But I'll give you guys some examples, right? So if man, how do I say this? If you're into crypto, right? Like I myself am somewhat invested into crypto. The only reason why this is because sadly, and I do say sadly because I'm not like crazy about it, right? Because it's getting to stages where it's like crypto's not going to serve the people the way it was intended to help the people. It's going to be used to our disadvantage. However, sadly, things are going to go that way. Like this is going to become at some point, whether it be months from now, a year from now, years from now, this is going to become a cashless society. So sadly, we do have to kind of like be somewhat or completely invested in crypto one way or another. And if that is the case where we're kind of going to be forced to have some type of like crypto or whatever, or maybe it's a quote unquote safe haven to have crypto at our disposal, then, here are some of the tips that I would suggest and highly recommend for you guys to do. That way, if something does happen or when something does happen, at the very least, you keep the balances of those like cryptos like untampered with and like safe, right? So first things first, yeah, it is written, so it will be for sure. First things first, if you do own crypto, do not keep them on the exchange at all. Might have to move to El Salvador. Well, that's the thing, man. Like that could be like an initial good choice, right? Any other country, basically, outside of the U.S., would be like a safe choice at first, but everything trickles down. So like once United States does become a cashless society, every place around it will trickle throughout all the other countries, because you got to remember they all are going to fall on like that new like world ... order scenario. So they're going to be working together, and they're all going to be on the same page, and they're all going to be doing the same exact thing when it comes to finances and economy, right? It's just the way it is. Like you said, it is written, so it will be, right? The Bible talks about this. But anyways, um, if you do own crypto, the first things I'm going to say is get it off the exchanges, right? That's first things first. And make sure, two things: either make sure you send them to a cold storage device, right? I'm letting y'all know what I mean. Listen, I might have to buy myself another one because these people kind of like something happened with Ledger a few months ago, and they're not as trusted anymore. But it's still an option. So this is a cold storage crypto device, right? It's kind of like a personal physical wallet for your crypto. If you don't have one, get one. I highly suggest it or recommend it. Um, you see what I mean? It's already begun, and it's been started like months ago, right? I'd say even over a year ago, really. But now the world in its entirety is starting to see the world as a whole, like starting to like legitimately use crypto as their first means of like economy or finance, right? But anyways, um, and do feel free to chat amongst each other. I mean, amongst yourselves within the live chat. It brings more people to the live stream, so I encourage there to be a lot of activity in the live chat. So feel free to do so. But yeah, so a physical cold storage device, right, where you can send all your crypto off of the exchanges and into a physical device, right? But also aside from that, there are apps. I'll give you guys two apps where it works the same way as a cold storage, but it's not a physical device. It's like an app or software where you can send your crypto to, so you don't have them on the exchanges, so they're more safe. One of them being Exodus, right? The Exodus app, either on iPhone or Android, doesn't matter. But Exodus app is good. It's safe. And the other one, if you're an XRP holder like myself, you know about the XUMM app. Um, those are some of the apps that you guys can use if you don't have a physical cold storage wallet. Those two apps that I mentioned are actually some of the most trusted apps and blockchains and wallets that you guys can actually find. So again, the first one is the Exodus crypto wallet, right? Exodus, like the Bible, EXODUS, right? Um, and then the other one is XUMM. These two apps, again, are among the most safe crypto wallets out there, where you can send your crypto to, so that you don't have them on the exchanges. Because you got to look at it this way: when you buy crypto and you keep it on the exchange, you have to think like you don't have like a lock on your crypto. So meaning, if something happens with like the site, or the, what do you call it, the network or whatever, anything can happen. You could lose all your crypto for whatever reason, right? Or maybe, I don't know, something weird happens and they were moving crypto around or whatever. And just to kind of like be at ease and have peace of mind, just once you buy your crypto, just send it off to your cold storage wallet, so that it's only like your keys, your crypto, right? If you have them on the exchange, you don't have personal, direct, private keys to it. The actual site does. So again, if you want to be at peace and you want some peace of mind, send it off to either the Exodus wallet or the Sum wallet. Again, that's Exodus, like in the Bible, EXODUS, or Sum, XUMM. If you don't have, like I said earlier, if you don't have one of these, like a Ledger Nano X or a physical cold storage crypto wallet, then that would be your other best bet. And of course, make sure that you write down your private keys on a piece of paper or like a notepad or sticky note, whatever, right? Make sure you don't ever lose those private keys, because those private keys are what allows you to access your wallet and all that stuff. The other thing I would say is whatever accounts, whether it be a bank account, a crypto wallet, whatever the case may be, the other suggestion and recommendation that I have, all right, is for you guys to make sure you take screenshots of your balances, right? And you print out those and make sure that the date and time, if possible, are viewable or like visible within like the screenshot or whatever the case may be. And yeah, that way, at the very least, you give me 1 second, guys, because I just got word that the team is indeed, well, at least Kiko is saying he's going to be able to make it to tonight's show. So I was hoping for that, and I'm glad he said yes. So give me 1 second. Do not go anywhere. I repeat, do not go anywhere. I'm just going to send the guys the link to the stream, so hopefully that, you know, they can join me in tonight's stream. Let's see. Okay, man. Anyways, while this loads over here and I send the email, yeah, those are some of the suggestions and recommendations I have, like to keep as far as like your finances and financial ownership intact as much as possible. Boom. Okay. Give me 1 second, guys. I promise you, I'm almost done. Okay. I think I got them. Yeah, I see someone's happy in a live chat that we're gonna have potentially the whole team here tonight, so that's pretty cool, right? And I'm not left to talk to myself. Just sent it to both of y'all. See you there. Okay. All right. So while we wait for the other 2 team members to show up, do we have any words at all in the live chat about what I just recommended and what I just discussed, at least about the crypto? As far as like the crypto goes, did you guys understand what I mean? Did you guys understand like the recommendation I just gave? Do you have any questions, any doubts, any concerns? Let me know in the live chat, because I am trying to help everyone I can when it comes to all this, because I don't want anyone to be left in the dark. I don't want anyone to be scared. I don't want anyone to be, like confused or kind of like, oh, I lost everything. Like, well, you didn't have to lose anything if you would have like kind of like at least tried this recommendation or, this little bit of advice or whatever. Let me know in the live chat what you guys think about that advice or recommendation that I just gave a few seconds ago. I would love to hear you guys and your thoughts on that. But as we wait for Kiko and hopefully Jay the producer to stop by for a few, this article is by hiphopdx.com, and the headlines read: Chicago rapper Lil Zay Osama arrested for weapons possession and theft. Says here, Chicago rapper Lil Zay Osama, what a name, has found himself behind bars once again after a high-speed chase outside of Chicago, Illinois. And yes, that is how you pronounce it. According to arrest records obtained by HipHopDX, the F My Cousin rapper, real name Isaiah Dukes, oh, what a name, has been charged with possession of a loaded machine gun, theft of stolen goods exceeding 10,000 but not more than 100,000, and possession of a firearm with a defaced serial number. All three charges are felonies. Says here, Fox 32 Chicago is reporting that the alleged incident happened on Wednesday, December 13th. Of course, it had to be on the 13th. According to the outlet, Lil Zay Osama was with two friends, Jeremiah Dawson and Trayvon Garland, in the Chicago suburb of Oak Brook when they were spotted by the police. Police received information about, quote, a vehicle connected to a man who was suspected to be part of an investigation into an armed robbery at a jewelry store in New York, unquote. While it is not clear which of the three men is under suspicion for the alleged crime in New York, Lil Zay Osama was arrested in 2022 in NYC for allegedly leaving a machine gun in the back of a car. Though initially held without bail, he was subsequently released. The police began to give chase to the Chicago rapper and his two friends when the car made a series of illegal maneuvers at one point. At one point, a police helicopter, sorry about that, was even deployed to try to track down the car. Police found a loaded Glock 29 with a laser, an extended magazine, and a switch that converts the weapon into a fully automatic machine gun, and a loaded Glock 19 with a 50-round drum magazine and a defaced serial number inside the Dodge, reports Fox 32. Lil Zay Osama was also reportedly wearing a $90,000 necklace connected to the New York jewelry store robbery, though it is not clear if he was in fact involved in the robbery or if he merely benefited from it. All three men are set to appear in court on January 8th, 2024. Earlier this year, Osama was scooped up by Chicago police officers and taken into custody, where he was hit with weapons charges. Social media couldn't get enough of the OTF rapper's mugshot, which captures him looking completely baffled and staring away from the camera with his hands inside his tank top. Fans quickly came up with various captions clowning Lil Zay Osama. When your mom wakes you up early for school and you decide to daydream. One person wrote, while another added, this how I used to be for school year early in the morning, zoned out, sitting in the bathroom trying to warm up. Oh man, that's good stuff. That's good stuff, yo. But oh, we got Rod the plumber. Hold up. So Veronica asks, "Is crypto expensive?" Not really. Listen, I have and am somewhat invested in like cryptos that are like 0.00001 fraction of like a penny type of deal. So you don't have to be invested in like expensive crypto. There's a bunch of crypto out there that is like extremely cheap and affordable and that will do well this bull cycle, because we are in a bull cycle. But blessings and love to Rod Plummer. Yes, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays in advance. That's true. We haven't seen Rod in here for a while. Yes. Yeah, man. Hey, stick around, Rod. Stick around if you can. I mean, don't do as I say, do as you can. But anyways, do we have any more questions? Because that was a good question. Veronica asked if is crypto is expensive. I'm like, well, it depends what crypto you're looking at, because there's some crypto that is like extremely expensive, but then you have cryptos that is extremely affordable. And I like those the most because they have a lot more room to grow versus crypto that's already been discovered and already expensive. So, that's just some food for your thought. I'm not a crypto expert by any means, and I'm not, nor will I ever be, anyone's financial advisor. So you don't have to do as I'm recommending or suggesting. Do whatever feels right to you. But all I do is just give tips from what I have done and what has helped me. Everybody's situation is different. Everybody can afford different things, and everybody likes certain crypto products more than others, etc. So don't do as I say. Just this job is nothing but work. Yeah, I believe you, man. I believe you. Which is funny that you say that. Yeah, it is, and it's good to see you too, bro. It's good to see you too. It really is, and I think we all mean that. Emily being the first one who brought it up, I agree and second her thought. It has been a while that we haven't seen you, but it's always nice to see OG supporters like yourself. Which, by the way, man, hold on, have I ever modded you? I feel like I have, but just I'm gonna double check, yo, because it's gonna bother me if I haven't modded you. That's gonna be weird. Like if I go to you right now and I see you're not modded, I'm gonna feel extremely bad. Um, because you've been here for like a good minute, and let me see. Okay, I have. All right, good. I was about to smack myself in the face and say, "What the heck are you waiting for?" But okay, all right. So, and by the way, for those of you who are sharing the stream, I appreciate it in advance. I really do. It does mean a lot to me, and it does help the channel because, listen, yesterday I had a weird, rough day trying to get on for a stream or to make videos even because the StreamYard app, not app, the website was giving me trouble. There was like internet issues. A lot of websites that I was trying to use were having like network problems, or I forget how it's called, but basically I couldn't use like some of the sites that I used to like go on for a stream or to like edit videos or whatever. It was giving me a hard time. And even before yesterday, there was just issues for me trying to like upload videos or do stuff for the channel. And while I am extremely grateful and thankful for a lot of you recently like watching the videos, and I've noticed some of you playing videos on I don't want to say loop, but y'all I've noticed how some of y'all have played videos um, on the playlist and just like let them play. I've noticed it, and I am grateful and thankful. But we really, really, really need those 4,000 public watch time hours, which we're only like maybe like 2,000 hours away from. And it's kind of like I tell everybody here, all you really got to do to help the channel out, if you really want to like help the channel as much as possible, is very simple. Like if before you go to sleep, you go to whatever playlist we have, preferably the podcast playlist. There's a button that says like loop or shuffle or repeat or whatever, or like repeat all. I do believe there's an option to like have it looped. I don't know if it's just for desktop or if it has the same option on the phone. Either way, um, there is a way for you guys to like have the playlist on loop. Okay. If everybody here that joins the streams or like watches the videos, even if you're just someone who's subscribed to the channel just because of the shorts, right? Because we put out, or we try to put out shorts every single day, if not every other day, depending on how well they do. If everyone here, even through that mean, uh, allows our playlist to loop play, we should have more than enough public watch hours within days. But that's, and the thing is, you don't even have to like have the volume up. You can play our stuff with the volume completely down and just let it play while you're sleeping. Let it on loop, and just let it play as many podcast episodes or videos as possible. That is what's going to completely help the channel, get to the YouTube partnership program ASAP. It's not going to work with shorts because if you watch shorts, it's different. It'll count those hours, but you got to think, how many times do you have to play shorts that are like 10, 15, 30 seconds long to reach the 2,000 hours that we're missing versus videos that are like an hour long, sometimes 2 hours long. There's some that are even 24 hours long. I've done 24/7 loop streams on here before, and I feel like I'm gonna have to do it again. But you gotta kind of like All right. So we have Somewhere to Stay in California by Rod. All right. I appreciate that, Rod. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Um, nah, but yeah, on a serious note though, it'll help us tremendously if you guys play some of the longer videos on loop. Um, Basically any video besides the shorts. If you play them on loop and just randomly on, and you could just mute the phone as they play in the background while you're doing dishes, while you're whatever sleeping, whatever the case may be. It would help us out tremendously. So keep that in mind. You don't have to do it, but I'm just suggesting it and recommending it because we are trying to reach the 4,000 public watch hours for the YouTube partnership program. And yeah, I believe that. I believe that. Um, Before I bring on Geeko onto the stream, because I'm gonna bring him on in a second, but is anyone that's already watching the stream on board with the suggestion I just made about playing our videos in the background, like on loop? Is everyone okay with that? Is anyone on board or thinking of potentially doing that? Let me know. Let me know in the live chat if you're able to do it. And if you are able to do it, please also share the idea forward with like whatever, a friend, family member, whoever else you have shared the channel with already previously. Anyways, I'm about to bring on the main co-host of the channel here, Kiko Kiking. All right, so here we go. Gavin Newsom. Yeah.
What up?
What's going on, brother man?
What up? You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it was just staggering.
Okay. It might be because
What's
you're
up?
driving.
Well, yeah.
Not much, man.
I had to go get food.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah.
Not much, man. Have you seen? Well, first of all, before I ask you the questions, what have you been up to lately? Tell the people what you've been up to, because I know what you've been up to, but tell the people what you've been up to. And
Minding my business. Nah, working out, recording music, and staying busy.
All right.
Keeping my mind busy from bullshit. What's up with you, man?
Not much. Just just here with the people, just helping people out with some suggestions and recommendations to keep their crypto safe when the grid gets taken down and we're left in a blackout scenario for like potentially weeks and months, maybe even a year. So I'm just trying to. We got Emily saying, "What's up, Kiko? Welcome back, sir. God bless you."
What's going on? God bless everyone. Yeah. What's up, man? Yo, you hear about the border?
What about the border?
Nigga, I just say it's crazy. Let's just think like this. So anybody go through that border, right?
Right.
And let's say they're part of the government, like a spy government agency. They're like, man, go invade America through the borders, Get a couple, thousand of soldiers in here. And then, start a whatever. Put them in different places where they can, poison your food and drink. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's crazy that now that you brought that up, did you know that recently they had to do like a recall of like Diet Coke, Orange Fanta, and another Coke product because of foreign substances that they found in those drinks?
Right.
So that's something to consider right there.
Yeah. We can't live in peace. Man. This is some bullshit, man. People are just wicked, yo. You gotta be a dumbass person to be doing evil shit. Anyways, Yeah, man, that was crossing my mind. I was like, damn, man, like 30,000 a month.
Who?
You gotta ask yourself, well, if you do your research, it's more than different countries, but one of them is pretty much infiltrating through the borders, and I don't know how y'all gonna stop this dumb shit. You can't pay a border agent enough money to be, Let's just say all this bullshit with these people starting wars. Like, thank God you're not in those shoes who make decisions. Let's just put it that. Because it's dangerous.
Yeah.
The world's messed up, man. But anyway, I'm just trying to like today I was just I'm about to get my food. I'm about to go home. I worked out earlier and been watching a couple news about different things, regarding Diddy.
Right.
And the border. I don't really try to pay attention too much to Israel and Palestine conflict, just because it's so much propaganda. Let's just, man, I'll tell you what. This world evil.
I mean, we've been told in the Bible that it was.
I would say that life is precious. God will always reign, whether a person understands it or not. It's their fault that they lose eternal life. You gotta look at it like this. Any person who steps out of their house to commit any form of wickedness, you're gonna be separated come Judgment Day. How about that? And the sad part is, we speak Spanish and English, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can't translate this to other nations and country people. You know what I mean? Like what I'm saying is, I can't translate to these other nations that speak different tongues. So imagine all the people who commit wickedness, how they gonna lose eternal life?
Well, what's funny about that is no one's gonna have any excuses, Kiko, because God always sends people to around the world, and people who know how to talk those different languages and get the gospel across around the world. So no one's gonna have any excuses. Oh, I think we're losing Kiko a little bit.
You're right. Because it's been translated. You are absolutely right. Say what?
Nah, you were cutting up a little bit, but you're back.
What'd you say? It's staggered.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
All right. So yeah, totally, I agree with you. Ain't no one gonna have any excuse. Mm-hmm. I don't know what topic you're gonna talk about.
Right.
Because I'm not gonna sit here and talk all day like a motor mouth. Anyways, what you want to talk about? What are you gonna talk about today?
So, I actually talked about a few things already, but I was going to ask you, did you get a chance to watch that movie, Leave the World Behind?
No, I saw a trailer of it.
You haven't seen the movie yet?
Not yet. The problem is that I don't ever watch movies and sitcoms and all this other stuff.
You got to watch that movie, man. You got to watch that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those... Leave the World Behind is by far one of the most recent movies that has so many Easter eggs of that, quote unquote conspiracy theorists would hold in high regard as the grail of end of times or end of days Easter egg type movie.
Like scenarios?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Because it pretty much it's funny, man. It's so funny because you know that podcast episode that we had about a year ago or over a year ago where we were talking about EMPs, right?
Yeah.
So so basically that movie paints that scenario that we talked about in that podcast episode about EMPs, and it literally it not only paints a picture, but it makes a masterpiece out of like things to expect out of like society once the grid does get taken down, and how it's expected for society to act and behave if and when that does happens, right?
Right.
And there's so many like Easter eggs throughout that movie, bro. It's crazy. It's ridiculous. Even from the very beginning, like when they get to like the house that they're gonna stay in for Airbnb, the bunches of like one eye symbolism right off the bat, you can't miss it. It's like right in your face. The black and white checkerboard patterns. You know, people just kind of like holding on to entertainment instead of like figuring things out and the seriousness on the world like around them. It just goes on, man. But
Yeah.
but yeah, Emily said something right now. She said, "Jorge, you should play the trailer of that other movie coming out. They're sending signs back to back," and she's right. There's a movie called I think Civil War or something like that, which funny enough is how Leave the World Behind ends with them telling you or giving you a glimpse of the Civil War that was starting off towards the end of that movie. So while I find that trailer and play it for you, let me know what you think in advance, Kiko, about what to expect from what I just told you about that movie.
Okay. You about to play it right now?
Now I'm gonna play a different trailer of a movie that's gonna come out. That's called Civil War.
Okay.
But from what I told you about from what I told you about Leave the World Behind, what do you think so far?
I mean, it sounds biblical stuff or scriptural stuff. So far, I don't see it in real life. Thank God. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I will say that living life without the internet would suck. Like having no communications and where we have it,
Yeah.
it's a blessing. If you
Mm-hmm.
use it right, we got a bunch of fools in this world, man, and you can't stop a fool from doing
Yep.
foolish things. So
It's true.
yeah, so you wanna
That's true.
like you gotta ask yourself, okay, there's all types of things in life. You got comedians, you got people who are serious. Like when I look at myself, I say, okay, I can be serious with music, or I can clown, right? Like what are we doing
Right.
here? Like, do we take life serious? How do we take life serious? If you really think about it, you're praying for your life anyway. So, and I don't know how to stop people from doing what they do. That's on you. You know what I mean? It sounds like a good ass movie
Right.
though. You know, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna get my ass back out, go back to work and go to sleep. That's what I'm gonna do. Cause I ain't going outside to do dumb shit. Fuck, I look like doing dumb shit out here. This ain't even my world. This ain't your world either. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's just say, like, I'm gonna have to watch it and then we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
You know.
Now remember, when you watch it, I want you to watch it 2 times at least. I want you to watch it for quote
Damn.
unquote entertainment purposes
Well, how
first,
many hours is
right?
that? How many hours is
Honestly,
that?
it's not that long. It's not that long of a movie. I think it's like an hour and a half long or something like that. I don't think it's too long.
3 hours of my life.
No,
I gotta
no.
sit there. I gotta sit there and watch 3 hours of my life with the same thing. You know, I don't like watching the
Well,
same movie twice.
that's true, but this one it might actually
Unless
birth
it's Chevy
some
Chase
type of like.
Christmas. Unless it's Chevy Chase Christmas. Nigga, I gotta watch that every year. Every year. I'm
Right,
putting
right.
lights up.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's true.
Niggas be hating
Yeah.
on Christmas. Nigga, here's a gift. Anyway, what you talking
All
about?
right,
The
hold
movie.
on. So
Yeah, I'm watching.
so here's the trailer for the coming movie. That's called Civil War. Okay,
It's called Civil
this is
War.
gonna come out. It's not out yet. Yeah.
Thank you,
All
Lord,
right, here we go.
or whoever is doing this. Go ahead.
Yeah, here we go.
States have seceded. The United States Army ramps up activity. The White House issued warnings to the Western forces as well as the Florida Alliance.
The future president assures the uprising will be dealt with swiftly.
Let me know if you want to try anything on.
Are you guys aware there's like a pretty huge civil war going on all across America?
We just try to stay out. With what we see on the news, seems like it's for the best.
Citizens of America, the so-called Western forces of Texas and California have suffered a very great defeat at the hands of the United States military.
Mr. President, do you regret the use of airstrikes against American citizens? They shoot on sight in the Capitol every instant.
Every time I serve a war song.
Real quick, but before we continue watching the trailer, well, when's the last time y'all seen Kirsten Dunst in a movie? I can't remember when's the last time I seen her in a show or a movie or anything. Is that just like me being weird, or is that like, I'm not trying to reach for any, I'm just saying, like, I haven't seen her in anything in such a long time. It's just weird to me.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I remember who you're talking about, but I haven't seen anything. Yeah. Yo, let me say something. Can I say something about your little trailer? First of all, that is some wild shit. Right? That's like an evil thought crossing my mind. You understand me?
Right.
That whole shit, that whole painting of that trailer sounds like some wickedness.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then, yo, give me a second. I gotta order something for my mom.
Yeah, that's fine.
My mom wants some shit.
Visit, but we are currently closed.
Oh,
Please visit us again during our normal business hours.
Alrighty then, they're closed. Never mind. Anyway, going back, what we talking about that? Yeah, that trailer is crazy, yo. I don't even want that in my mind. Listen, I ain't trying to exist for this dumb shit. You know what I mean? Like, the fact that someone put that shit out there like that, thank you, no thanks. Bitch ass nigga out here trying to put satanic thoughts in my head. You know what's crazy about the world, yo? That, because, you know, you do it for research purposes and for this channel, right. But can you imagine somebody out here just putting Halloween movies into their minds all the time? You know what I mean? And then they turn around and try to, like, mock Christmas because you're giving out gifts. Like, I don't know about you, but I'd rather see a comedy shit than some. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's powerful, dog. I ain't trying to experience it. I'm gonna have to watch it because of the curiosity of not living it. You understand? Because I ain't trying to live like that. Listen, if human beings wake up to be like that one day, nigga, you deserve to lose eternal life. And you're a bitch for committing wickedness. That's how I look at this shit. You don't have nobody has rights to come outside their house to be kidnapping, threatening. Like, you'll not to go off subject, but did you see Kanye West go on a rant?
No, talk about it.
This nigga was talking crazy. I don't know what's going on, but if someone threatened your family, if somebody threatened your family, how would you feel?
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? So I can't. I mean, I say crazy, but I ain't saying crazy like that. Because I'm always gonna be on the side of righteousness.
Right.
You know what I mean? You don't get to poke nobody, bitch, and get away with it. It's the message. You know?
Yeah.
Imagine a bully thinking he can get away with shit. Nigga, you're going to jail and hell. How about that, ho? How about that? That's how I look at you. That's how I look at people who commit crimes, nigga. I don't like you. like, I don't know how people like this shit. You should be disgusted with people who commit crimes, who like to scam and lie and shit. But I'll tell you, man, like, this nigga made a song with a Ku Klux Klan hat on. Like, he calls himself a black Nazi or some shit. Nigga, you're crazy. What are you talking about, dog? What are you doing? That wasn't good. That wasn't good. But I guess, okay. Freedom of speech. It's all art. It's all art.
But see, that's the thing. It's not just art. It's a story.
Go ahead. I'm listening. Go ahead. Listen. I'm listening.
No,
I like hearing your point of view. So yeah, go ahead.
There's always some type of either storytelling or predictive programming, like, involved in, like, what they do, especially in this scenario where I don't even think we've had the same Kanye that we lost back like a few months ago. I think we have been given a different Kanye since his disappearance and reappearance with his new wife up until now. So if that's the case, where we weren't even given back the same Kanye, you know, the one that had apparently gave his life to Christ, we have, to our viewing public, a different Kanye. And if that's the case, then even with more purpose is he doing what he's doing. I mean, he's even gone as far as naming his new album Vultures. But you know what I mean? Like, we all know what vultures are and what vultures do. You know what I mean? And it's not to say that. Exactly. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, that has to do with ... this other stuff. No, I'm not trying to, conjure up any type of like conspiracy or nothing like that, or connect any type of like dots or reach. But you got to ask yourself, what kind of title is Vultures for a comeback album? Because this would be considered a comeback album, because the last one that he did was back when he supposedly converted to Christ, right? But between that one and now, he hadn't released an actual like full-blown album. So I don't know what he's trying to say. Yeah.
Maybe he's a demonic people like vultures, man. Like, imagine you become famous, everybody wants to be your friend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody wants to hey, this is cool. Nigga, the only person I want to talk to is my wife.
Yeah.
So anyways, I'll just say this. All that Diddy shit, I'm sure he had something to do with it. I'm sure he had something to do with it, trying to get exposure. Listen, no man on earth is going to escape their dumb shit. You don't get no free pass. So I can see all this happening all together, because they all know each other. That's why they call it vultures. Bunch of demons. Just imagine that shit, nigga. Who the fuck wants to hang out with that?
Yeah.
A bunch of vultures, a bunch of creeps, people who are probably pedophiles in the sneak. Nigga, I'll knock you out for real in life. Don't come around me with that shit. I hope your ass in boxing, because I'm going to give it to you. Back to the same shit. I just don't like wickedness, nigga. I have a fucking drive against that shit.
We know.
It's kind of it's not even terrifying because the way I look at it is like this. Goodness and love prevails over all shit, and it will be defended. Nigga, why do you think they created penitentiaries and jails? To lock your ass up for committing crimes, ho! Nigga, you don't get to steal from me. Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, I done had over millions of people back to my music page with fucking $70 bank account bullshit. You know somebody's stealing from me. Nigga, when I see the numbers over 600,000, 80,000, 100,000, and you see 3 cents, nigga, you stealing from me, bitch. Niggas think that, niggas, like, I laugh about it, you know what I mean? But that shit is crazy. Imagine you did it's just like Nikola Tesla. He created all that shit, and here comes Edison and steals your shit.
Yeah.
So imagine how Kanye feel when a nigga is trying to steal his shit, trying to take his money. When you out here trying to work hard every single day, you're the one who get up to create the stuff. You know what I mean? And then here comes this slacker in the back thinking he can just sleep all day to collect the money. It don't work that way, nigga. Who made the bricks? Who gave you the tools to make the road? If it wasn't you, bitch, get the fuck out his face. It's fucking crazy, right? Yeah, welcome to the end.
Well, if we have...
Nigga, I swear I could be an asshole towards these people, yo. That's why you gotta be an asshole sometimes, man. I'm really a nice person, but I'm gonna give it to you. You know, opposites attract on some bullshit. It's just like some negative energy and positive energy. Like, I don't know which one are you. I'd rather be positive, but sometimes when I see this shit, it's like, nigga, I don't want that. I don't want to experience that shit. Like, someone, like, today, one of our family members was found not guilty. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He was looking at 20 years or so. Okay? And God prevailed. God prevailed. Yeah. Jesus prevailed on his behalf. You know what I mean? Yeah. And the family's behalf. And then what do you do with that? Do you continue to walk in error, or do you become a better man? I don't know about you, but I'd rather be a better man. We're hoping.
Yeah, we're hoping and praying. Yeah.
Which side are you on? Nigga, I don't know, nigga. I guess because growing up, you always saw people trying to bully people over some dumb shit. And then you grow up and you're like, nigga, I'll knock your ass out. How about that? Yeah, welcome to the end. Welcome to Disney, bitch. Where you get your ass knocked out for being evil.
Oh my God.
Nigga, I swear, boy. People are evil, man. And I just be thinking about that's the only thing that I don't like about this world. Because everything else is like, nigga, guess what? You gotta go to work. You gotta do something with your life. But why go outside and be like Kanye say, a vulture? I don't know, nigga. I don't know what their agenda is. I do not know what their agenda is.
Right.
But I know that my agenda ain't their agenda. And if I had one word to say to the world, is like, you better hope you have a good relationship with God. Yeah. Because it's gonna be a bad day when you die and you're like in the darkness forever, separated from your family. Because your ass is out here thinking you can scam and lie and all this other dumb shit. Oh, and by the way, spy, you know what I mean? Stock.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, let me be honest with you, like, damn, nigga, I'm trying to make a song today, and that video just fucked my mind up. You know? Because certain things can put you in a different vibe, man. You know how, like, before I record music, I watch comedy shows. Like, not like little skits from YouTube, like little shorts. You know the shorts. That's how I get myself ready. That's I'll get myself ready to be recorded, man. But when you create something and you do something for your family and you ain't getting paid right, nigga, who belongs in jail?
Yeah. Well, I mean, to add on to what you just like mentioned, I don't know, man. Like we continue to be warned, whether it be throughout like shows or throughout movies or throughout whatever the case may be, right? And although you and me, like, and all of us here, I'm pretty sure I can speak for most people in the live chat, if not everyone. While we don't want to see and or suffer the things that have been kind of like that we've been warned of, right? What you said is very true. Like if we don't find that genuine connection with God, you know, we're gonna have a hard time in the afterlife, but also with like what's to come, like in life, you know, whether it be whatever, a few months from now, a year from now, a few years from now, whenever it happens, like if we're not prepared and we don't have that like strong connection, one-on-one connection with God, you know, we're gonna be clueless, we're gonna be confused, we're gonna be easily manipulated, we're gonna be scared, we're gonna be just pretty much like facing things alone, because potentially, right, one of the real potentials is that we might even at some point be separated from our families and like left alone to a certain extent. And then what? You know what I mean?
Right.
So
my biggest thing, like, is like, you know, the problem with me is the wickedness of this world, man. I be wanting to lash out at it. I prefer to be walking in peace and in love every single day of life. You know? So I don't like when I don't know. That's why I try to stay away from all that Palestine and Gaza stuff. I can't listen to it. Imagine someone kidnapped my child. I'm not trying to hear that shit. And it's sad because it's enraging, dog. It's enraging that someone would think to kidnap somebody and keep them held prison. Like all these crazy ass stories that we hear, nigga. Like, okay, I'm supposed to walk with Christ-like, right? What is to be Christ-like? It's to be walking in peace, walking in love, having mercy, forgiveness, being kind, like being a genuine, innocent as you can try to be in a world that's not holy. Because you got to ask yourself, what did Jesus do to deserve to get killed? Like you making videos and I make music. I make music, you make videos, right? Okay, what did we do to deserve the hatred from the world? What did we do? We stood up for righteousness.
We pursue God.
We pursue God, but God is righteousness. Yep. You know, you think about our family member who was found not guilty today. Every single one of us prayed for him, and brought tears to our eyes. And what did God do? Not guilty. And the stacks were against him. Because the devil is crazy. The devil is here to destroy me and you, and I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm nice with that.
Yeah.
Nigga, my name ain't the Pope. I will swing at you. And you're gonna listen, I don't walk around with a gun in the gunshot state, but nigga, I'm gonna swing on you. Yeah. I'm gonna swing on you, nigga. Because you're playing with the wrong one. And when I look at heaven and I think about death and all this stuff, yo, Jorge, let me ask you a question. I know you haven't done this shit, but this is for the audience. Has anybody here ever done shrooms or acid?
That question's for the live chat.
Yeah. Anybody? Well, I'm trying to get at, you know, how Mike Tyson. Has anybody here ever done shrooms or acid, like LSD? I'm not talking about weed. Because the thing about shrooms, and here's the thing.
Talking about other psychedelics.
It's a psychedelic that the Egyptians and all them have known for the centuries. And the way when I did shrooms, I always analyze shit. That's what I do first. It's like you open the door and you analyze what the hell's going on here. What's going on? You know what I mean? Everything looks liquid. Everything looks like a cartoon. In the mind, when you close your eyes, it's like you've warped yourself inside your mind, and you're inside of it, and you're now in the dream. Because have you ever had a dream?
Have I ever had a dream? I've had many dreams throughout my years.
Right? They felt real, right?
Right.
You were there, right? Well, imagine being on shrooms or acid.
I felt like I was there.
So yeah, you're actually in there, like you're inside a TV, and you're in. Imagine the kingdom of heaven being within us, right? The way I look at it is like this: if you're evil, you're going to find your ass in the sun. There's no way that you're going to escape the bullshit, because deep down inside of us, the kingdom of heaven's within us. Okay? And so what's the kingdom of heaven? Peace, love, mercy, forgiveness. All the things that Jesus is. Not anybody else. You know what I mean? Not anybody else's opinion. And by the way, I too have to be held to these standards. You know what I mean? Y'all hearing you talk the other day about drugs and all that shit, which is understandable, dog. Like, if I can go back in time, I wish I had never opened the gates to like smoking weed and all, experimenting with shrooms and LSD and ecstasy, Molly, like all these things. I didn't do everything in the world, but I did things that play with your mind.
Right.
And in that process, you learn a lot of things about life and yourself. And again, everything's within. Because when I was closing my eyes on shrooms, it was like I was in the cartoon inside of my mind. Real life vision. You understand me? In ecstasy. So when I look at it like this, when you die, you're in ecstasy.
Yeah.
When you have a good relationship with God, what you got to motherfucking worry about? Shit. Nigga, you know who needs to worry? The fuck nigga that came outside committing crimes. Welcome to the motherfucking end of the show, ho. This is Vision of You in the flesh, fuck nigga. What's up? Yeah, what's up, man?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Charlie, how you doing? What's up?
I don't know.
I'm your number. Hey man, I'm one of your number one fans. I'm one of your number one fans on your channel, y'all.
Oh, I know. But it's funny. It's funny that you actually brought up the whole topic of like drugs, because I actually saw a video. Well, not only just that, but like I saw a video today, oddly enough, about acid and like shrooms and like the dangers of it and like why it is dangerous. And I want you to see a clip of it real quick.
Yo, I probably seen it.
Maybe,
it alters your mind. It alters your mind.
Yeah. You know who Tim Alberino is?
No.
Yeah, it does, but yeah.
Who's that?
Hold on. Let me share a verse that Memo Benjamin wrote earlier. So give me 1 second. I just want to share that real quick before moving on to the other thing. So Memo put up this Bible verse in the live chat, and he's talking about the armor of God. It says, "Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand. Thanks, Memo. We appreciate you sharing that Bible verse with us. It helps out a lot.
Even though you're not saved by works.
Say again?
No one's saved by works.
Oh no, not at all. The Bible's very clear about that.
So yeah, you do what you
I'm
can.
trying to look for.
But let me ask you a question, man.
Right.
Because you know.
Right.
The problem with podcasting and all these shows is some people do dating shit. Some people do reviews on music, like, right?
Right.
You think I'm wrong for cussing? Even though I'm playing?
That's not for me to.
Well, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So
that's not really for me to answer.
What does the scripture say?
You tell me. What does the Bible say on
It says to tame
cussing?
your tongue. It says to tame your tongue.
Okay.
Right?
So do you believe?
What's up?
No, I was gonna say, like, do you believe it's taming your tongue to cuss?
I always wonder. No, I just wonder. Every word exists, right? What is actually cussing, though? What is actually cussing? Am I cursing at somebody, or am I just cussing because it sounds like cussing because I'm using words of error? Because you gotta look at it like this, man.
I think I lost you. Okay, go. The last thing I heard was you gotta look at it like this, and then you just disappeared. I have one. There's a reason for that. I think we lost Kiko, yo. I think the connection was bad, so yeah. Okay, so yeah, I agree. Timothy Alberino is awesome. He's an awesome source to take from and reference. Rod says, Rod Plummer says, I have done mushrooms and LSD. It's all. Hold on. The heck? Hold on. My bad, y'all. Like, on my end, a video started playing out of nowhere, so I apologize for making that face. But here, I actually found a video that I meant to play for you guys. Speaking of, acid and mushrooms and all that stuff, and by Timothy Alberino, nonetheless, and he kind of like gives like a quick explanation and really valid points talking about like why we should stay clear from them altogether. But Rod says those are the most boring joints I have ever. Well, that's man. I will say this: if you did all those and you came out on the other side fine and able to say that they're boring or lame or whatever, you have an extremely strong mind. I will say that, because it takes someone with a strong brain and strong mind. Oh, God. Okay. I'm going to press pause on that. Actually, you know what? Hold on. Let me see if I can fast forward it somewhere around here. Okay. Hold on, Kiko. I'm going to bring you on in a second, okay? Give me 1 second, bro. 1 second. I just want to make sure that this is like loading over here. Oh, Lord, please. Please, I ask you tonight, Lord, please speed up the internet connection, Lord. I don't ask of much, Father God. But yeah, what I was trying to get at, Rod, was you know, I have said this story so many times in the past, but I know of like a local crazy person, what they would call it back home on the island, and I've said the story a few times before. He was like a genius level student in a college years ago. We're talking about like people that are like, you know, develop theories and stuff like that. Really good with numbers, really good with, you know, all that stuff. Someone slipped acid into a drink of his when he was at a party, and he has never come back from that trip, and it's been decades. So if you were able to do all those drugs and not stay on the trip, kudos to you, man. Okay, go.
Nigga, that's fucked up.
I know. But that's what I see. That's what I tell people all the time. It's like, why take a chance on something that could potentially do that to you? And that goes, you know, like anything that is either a psychedelic or can be laced with a psychedelic, or, you know, made stronger by means of a psychedelic, can have that effect on anyone and everyone. So it's like, why take the chance? You know what I mean?
That's a good question. That's a good question. So I would say, I guess because everybody has their own personal journey,
right?
You know, and like for instance, for me, I think what happened to me, that from a young age, because there was no females around, you know, that I like,
right?
You fucking fall into, hey, let's go get some drugs, let's go smoke some weed. From teenage years, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Some people do it, some people don't. Maybe you had somebody there that said, you know, fuck that shit, I ain't doing that shit. There was a time in my life where I said, that anybody who smokes is disgusting, right? And then one day I smoked weed, and it changed my mind. It's fucking, because the way I looked at it, well, guess what? I'm not kissing anybody, so guess what? This is what's going to happen until I meet somebody. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you're on a road trip. They're going back to that acid. That's some fucked up ass shit.
Yeah. And you know what's crazy?
Yeah.
Is you know who I'm talking about. You've seen him because you got to witness him while you were in Puerto Rico living with us. Do you remember Frankie?
The fat boy?
Frankie, yeah, the one that smelled really bad.
Yeah, he had stuff on his face. Look
You remember he was like always talking to himself or whatever?
Yeah.
That nigga, that's the one I'm talking about.
So guess what? I think when someone's doing that, they're talking to God. What's the difference
I don't know, man.
When you set your mind,
right,
you sit there and pray, who you talking to? Are you talking to yourself?
Yeah. No, but in his case, he was uttering like legit like nonsense. So
what do you think about tongues?
No, tongues, especially if your spirit is in tune with God and the Holy Spirit, there's people who can actually understand.
One back. What did you say again?
I was saying, like, if anyone is in tune with the spirit, they can actually understand what someone in tongues is actually saying. You know, like Abuela Dalia, our grandmother from like dad's side, she had the gift of both speaking in tongues, but also understanding when someone was speaking in tongues, she would be able to like actually reveal what they like were talking about. But like with Frankie, it was just like he was over here like duck, 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 turtle, turtle, grass, water, whoops, did it again, haha, like he was over here just like
Nigga, that's
wait, what? But that's what I mean, though. That's how that acid left him that way, you know. And it was crazy.
I will tell you like this: he don't have to deal with shit.
Yeah, because he smells like it.
That's fucked up, dog. You dumb.
I'm sorry, Lord. I am sorry, Father God.
Hey, man.
Wherever he's at, I hope he's okay.
I know.
I really hope he's okay wherever he's at, bro. I really hope.
Yeah. It's not, don't take shit seriously.
The timing was too perfect for me to not take advantage of that moment.
That's funny. That shit ain't happening, man. First off, there's nothing wrong with you as an individual in your life journey to say to yourself, "I'm doing this for research purposes."
Okay.
Right?
I can see a possibility.
I didn't do that shit before I did this shit. I wasn't thinking that way.
Right.
When you look at history, the tribes and all this other shit, these niggas were doing it. And before they did it as a ceremony. And then they get the high.
All right.
And then they start writing books, writing movies and shit, writing songs. Everybody got an opinion except when it comes to the Bible.
Yeah. Well, you know what's crazy?
None of us is perfect. Our lives ain't made from perfect gold.
Right.
And you can ask Drake. Drake say he came from the bottom. Nigga, you never been at the bottom, nigga. I can show you how I came from. It looked like I was in prison when I was a kid.
Yep. Oh, God.
Going back, what were you going to say?
I was just going to say, it has been said and revealed, whether it be through interviews or through private conversations or whatever, that people like Elon Musk, and people that are in his category of social, like allegiance, if you will, they apparently microdose with LSD or these psychedelics.
Let me explain.
Mm-hmm.
When you do these things, it opens the waves in your mind. If you're bright, you're smart, intelligent, and you know that you can think for yourself and shit. You know what I'm saying? And you want to experience, what the fuck is this door?
Yeah.
This is the way I look at it. Whether you get high or not or drunk, guess what? God is there. God created you. God created me. God created all things. The unfortunate part is that mankind comes in and commits wickedness. That's the problem. That's the main issue. Because if you were to do it and you were trying to create electricity, that's where it came from. There's no motherfucking way your ass was enlightened to, I'm going to create light without it. No way. There's no way. Somebody gave you that. Listen, when I do that shit, I said, I'm going to be a millionaire. I can create anything. So, baby, listen. Don't do that shit if you're scared, because you're going to have a bad trip. You can't get on the roller coaster ride and not understand that it's just a ride. And it only lasts about 3-4 hours.
Unless you're Frankie, then last decades.
End up retarded. That's your fault.
Yo. What I'm about to do, I promise, right hand to God, I'm not making fun of him necessarily, but it's just I have flashbacks of watching him, and I'm just gonna dramatize how he looked like to me when he was on the trip. He'd be like at the what do you call it, the pew or whatever at church or whatever, like in the back where he like always used to sit. And he would be over here like this. He'd be like bottom, cloud over the top, through the middle, down the top, green grass, blue, oceans, dolphins, turtles, and then he would just
So, listen, what you just told me, I would laugh at that shit. No offense, but guess what? That shit's heartbreaking. Somebody lives like that.
Yeah, it is.
That shit
it is.
Make us laugh. The other day, I know exactly what you're talking about, bro. The other day, I went to Lelo's to get some food.
Right.
Somebody doing that shit. And everybody in there had a smile. Because the nigga was doing this shit, right? And everybody in there was like smiling and like, ¿qué pasa este? But that shit, God allowed us to laugh about that shit through him. It's not.
Wait a second.
Soft. You soft.
Wait a second. Are you telling me that God allows some of his people to be on this journey just for our amusement? Amusement?
Thanks, man. That's fucking Yo, man. That's messed up, man. You see, our minds are wicked, dog.
But the way he made it sound was like, hey, Kiko, I know you're having a terrible day, but here goes Jose with his crazy antics again.
It's true. If you make me smile.
He's like, you could be Jose. It could be worse for you.
Somebody, I'm hoping that they're not hearing. Because you really don't see them depressed. I don't know, nigga, because I don't live with yeah.
Oh my goodness, yo.
Nigga, how we what the fuck we talking about? This is crazy.
I promise to everyone here, I'm going to play the video that talks and speaks of the dangers of psychedelics and all that. Obviously, we couldn't avoid not laughing at the situation while before getting there. But Emily says, my sister said God definitely created Michael Jackson for us to laugh at.
Yeah. About that. Wow.
Oh God. Oh my goodness.
Outside looking like a toy soldier.
You see? Have you seen the video where he's like at the pool with Macaulay Culkin or whatever, and like Macaulay gets him to like go on a diving board, and then he pushes it from behind, and he's like, "I'm gonna get you, Macaulay." Like,
let me tell you something. Jackson and people, Martin, nigga, if I was famous and rich like them, I ain't hanging out with no motherfucking kids, nigga, at all. Okay? Nope. Pass away from me. You know what I mean?
But Kiko, what if they're your biggest fan, bro?
Nigga,
you gonna say no to it?
Sorry. There's a time for that at an autograph.
Yo, what if there's a kid at the playground and the swings is like, Kiko, I'm your biggest fan. Give me a push. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. All right, I'm about to share the video I was talking about, yo, because I'm gonna. All right. My bad. All right, so we're gonna get into this video real quick. But have you seen my childhood? Oh my goodness. Okay, here we go. All right. Now listen to what he has to say about the whole psychedelic situation and why to stay away from it, and the dangers of it, pretty much, basically. Let the I'm trying to get the page to load.
Nigga, it's not something I did all the time.
All right, here we go. Here we go.
Showing you at that point.
I ain't afraid to do shit.
I'll give you an example of how dangerous this can be. I was with a friend of mine named Benny Humphreys in Tarapoto, Peru one time, and he invited me to come with him to go see this woman, go visit this woman who was in a very pitiable state after visiting a shaman. She went, I believe that the story goes that she went to a shaman. What they'll often do in the jungle in Peru, Brazil, just all over the Amazon, it's common that if you've got if you've got a gripe with your neighbor or something like that, what you do is you obtain a piece of your neighbor's clothing, something that belongs to them, an object that belongs to them, you bring it to the shaman. And the shaman takes that object and they basically use it to put a curse on that person. But sometimes it backfires. So I believe in this particular case, this woman had gone to a shaman for that reason, or sometimes people often will go to a shaman to try and heal some sort of ailment. She went to the shaman and she was, for all intents and purposes, she was fine. But shortly thereafter, her entire body locked up in a state of paralysis. She could not move. And we went and visited her, and it was pretty dire. I mean, it was bad. She was laying in bed, very emaciated, skeletal, obviously in great distress. She could not move. She was stiff as a board. And her family members said, this is what happened to me after I visited the shaman. Now, is that coincidental? Did she get stricken with some sort of illness, common illness? I don't know. I don't know. But this was the story, right? So again, I can't confirm or deny that was a result of the shamanism, but I've seen some pretty weird things as it pertains to shamanism.
Here we go. Get ready.
Pharmakia is likely referencing mind-altering psychedelics that come from plants. Ayahuasca in particular comes primarily from a vine. However, they make a brew using other ingredients. It's a very detailed process. The ingredients, the mixture, the brew, it's very complex, and it only works if you get it right. It's a mystery how the people in the jungle were able to concoct this brew so precisely that it creates the mind-altering effects and the duration of the effects. Because if you take the elements individually, you don't have the same experience. You have to mix them in this precise manner. You have to make the brew and for it to use that mind-altering state, that state of altered consciousness. So, and you're right. The shamans say that it was the spirits of the jungle, the spirits of the plants themselves that taught them how to make the brew. So I do believe that when we are dealing precisely with, and let's not forget that the Vikings, the berserkers, used mind-altering psychedelics to enhance their aggression and to make them exceedingly brutal. and it induced a bloodlust in them, warriors, and they would be put into this frenzy before a battle, and they would oftentimes go to battle nude, almost impervious to pain. They didn't fear death. They were kamikaze. The brutality was off the charts. One of the things that defines the world before the flood was the bloodlust and brutality, the murderous, sinister behavior of human beings. And I think that is directly connected, associated with psychedelics, with some of the pharmakia that they were using that was taught to them, according to the Book of Enoch, by the Watchers. And so when you combine the pharmakia with the metallurgy that was taught to them, they were instructed in how to make, swords and breastplates and armor and shields and so forth. It's probably a little bit more advanced than that, I would imagine. But when you mix the pharmakia with the metallurgy and the warfare, you can start to get an understanding of how brutal and violent the antediluvian world was. As it pertains to psychedelics are very interesting. You have all kinds of psychedelics out there that are derived from plants and mushrooms and vines. Psilocybin, for example, is being used now to treat people who are terminally ill because it helps them overcome fear of death, right? And we all know that the big tech guys, Silicon Valley guys, are microdosing LSD, microdosing psilocybin, because it opens up their creativity and enhances their creativity. There seems to be a mechanism in the brain, sort of a pathway, a doorway that can be activated that allows people to communicate in an altered state of consciousness with what sometimes I like to think of as an internet of consciousness. We communicate through the internet via fiber optics. So it's a technological analogy of what I think is happening on the level of consciousness. I think there's let's call it a conscious World Wide Web, an internet of consciousness that you can plug into using psychedelics. And the problem is that human beings are at a great disadvantage in this scenario, because there are other non-human consciousnesses that are plugged into this internet of consciousness that are much older, much more ancient than us, much more knowledgeable, and are nefarious. And so when ignorant human beings plug into this thing via psychedelics, we become completely susceptible to manipulation by other more intelligent, more ancient entities who are plugged in. This seems to be what's going on with psychedelics. So yes, can you take psychedelics? Can you trip on psilocybin and receive information and enlightenment? Yes, but you're also completely open. You are making yourself open to manipulation of your perception. Human perception is not difficult to manipulate. And so the real danger, as far as I can tell from psychedelics, is this disadvantage that we have as human beings. We're plugging in.
All right. Yeah.
I know everything he's saying.
I paused. I think
it's true. Everything he's saying. It opens doors.
Yeah. You want to add to what he's saying?
I mean, are you a positive person or a negative person?
You want?
That's the difference.
Are you asking me that, or are you saying like?
So if I'm a researcher, right? I look at it from a scientific point of view. On my journey, I could write a book too. You know what I mean? I just choose not to. But going back, yeah, it's true. You can be more creative. It's easy. You know. Do you think what you do is boring or not?
Oh no, not at all.
All right. I can imagine if you did acid or whatever, and you was sitting there editing and stuff, because you're focused and driven by it, your mind is going to be doing that and not thinking about some other shit. I've had a bad trip before on this shit.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a bad trip on shrooms before. You know, it feels like something's trying to squeeze me from the inside. Exprimiéndome.
Okay.
And it feels like like a dark shadow in a sense.
Okay.
It's like trying to wrap itself around me.
Right.
But again, in my mind, I knew what I was doing from before I did it. What I did not understand why the bad trip was happening. I'll tell you why the bad trip started happening. Because when you do this and it hits you hard, negative thoughts that you've processed throughout your life can come out of nowhere and slap you.
Okay.
Like even a past trauma, some shit, you know, or something that something provokes you. That's what happened to me. Something provoked my mind. It caused a twirl within my consciousness, right? And it felt, instead of feeling joy and happiness like it's supposed to, and usually, if it's a good trip, you're gonna find yourself in the clouds, like as if, oh my God, this is the most amazing thing I've ever done in my entire life. But if you have a bad trip, yes, you're gonna come out that bitch negative, saying, I am never doing this shit ever again. Thank God I'm sober. Now going back, will I say being sober is better than being high? At this age in time, yes. Being sober is better than getting high. Okay? Just because of the fact that your mind, you can lose your mind. But if you're not strong, I don't see you losing your mind. Like if your conscience is not strong and you're doing it like I was doing it, research purposes and all this stuff, you're not gonna, because I know what I'm doing. But it's true. Can your mind be manipulated? Yeah. If you're a dumbass that doesn't understand you're like, oh, right from wrong. Everybody know 1 + 1 = 2. 1 times 1, is it 1 or 2? 1 times 1.
1 times 1 is 1.
Are you sure? How come it's not 2? You just timed 1 times 1.
Exactly. You're just saying.
Who told you there's 1? 1 times 1 should be 2.
Now it's kind of like saying like this. So like you have the 1, and you're saying, I'm gonna repeat this. Yeah, but all you're really doing is just like keeping your finger right there because you're timing it, just like. But if you look, you still have just the 1.
You see how your perception is 1, thinking is 2.
Right.
Isn't that a philosophy of life?
Mm-hmm.
You know, the thing about shrooms and acid, dog, that it is an enlightenment that is it something you're supposed to do every day? Nah, nigga, that's not something you do every day. Every day, you're dumb as shit is you're looking for it. Now, if it was for like, you know, research purposes, nigga, you can read a book in 1 hour. Yeah.
If you can even get past the first page, yeah. Because what if you're tripping so hard that you find that first page super explorative and you just stay on it for like hours?
Closer to God. Yeah. You'll be like, God,
now, I will say this. What were you gonna say?
You go first.
Okay. Well, don't lose your train of thought. So what I was gonna say was, God forbid anyone here ever doing any of these psychedelics, right? Either right now in the live chat or if you see this video afterwards, God forbid you touch any of these psychedelics. You really shouldn't. But worst case scenario, you do. I will say keep very present in your mind, right? The name Jesus Christ, the Holy Spirit, and or even Jehovah or Yahweh. The reason why I say this is because there's been people who have testified that were within the New Age occult, right? That were doing meditation, they were opening their third eye, they were getting supposed help from spirit guides and all this and that, right? But a lot of them, they'll have this. A lot of them who convert to Christ have had an experience where they'll be having like a hard time, right? Trying to heal certain things with New Age crap. And they'll go to their spirit guide and they'll be like, man, like I've tried so many things and it's not working out. You know, this illness won't get, like, I'm not escaping it, even with doing meditation and blah, blah, blah. And they'll say like, man, but I've heard about like Jesus Christ, and they'll ask their spirit guide about Jesus Christ, and their spirit guide 9 times out of 10, if not always, they'll get angry and mad and upset, and they'll be like, oh, no, don't mention that name. And the people who have converted, they'll say within that experience, when I asked my spirit guide that, and I would see the demeanor of the spirit guide change and get angry and frustrated with me because I mentioned Jesus Christ, kind of like led me to like, but why? What's wrong with Jesus Christ? I've tried everything else. Why not try him? And the spirit guide will be like, oh, he's a great teacher and this and that, but you know, you should keep trying this. You know, you don't really need him or whatever. You can keep trying what I just showed you. And they'll be like, but why though? Why are you so scared of me trying Jesus Christ? And the spirit guide will keep trying to like evade the question, so much so that the people took it upon themselves to be like, I'm gonna seek Jesus Christ and see why my spirit guide is acting weird. And then they experience Christ and they're like, holy crap, like the spirit guide was trying to like ironically guide me away from what I needed. The irony of a spirit guide is they'll guide you away from what you really need. Ain't that crazy though?
Yeah, dumb. Why can't be like, I don't know, man. Listen, man. God knows that I'm grateful for being alive. So
yeah.
You know, it's an experience. It's amazing. Even when you go through whatever you go through.
Mm-hmm.
Heartbreak, all that shit. Devastation, death. So, but yeah, I'm gonna tell you like this: if you do that shit, don't say I influenced. Oh, you're an adult, man. What are you talking about? You gonna blame me? That's like that nigga who fucking said, "Hey, this nigga did that shit too. Put me in jail for that shit."
I love it. Can't go be the type to be like, man, all I'm saying is when I tried some of that stuff, I wrote the greatest songs of my life. But if you do try it, don't dare say that I motivated or pumped you up to do it. Don't you dare. Like, don't put that on me.
Just because you don't know how to act, don't mean I don't.
Don't you dare put that on me, boy.
Right? Nigga do that shit, ends up retarded. Now he's blaming me. Nigga, that's you. How I do this shit 100 times and I'm not retarded?
Oh my goodness.
I'm just saying.
Oh my goodness. That's too good. That's too good. But this comment really is intriguing. Memo says, Aleister Crowley thought he knew what he was doing too, but at the end, he regretted all the drugs and crazy stuff he was doing. I'd have to like look to see. I'm not saying that you're not saying the truth, Memo. I'm not saying that you're making that up, but I have never come across his autobiography. Well, not autobiography. I've never come across his biography where it states that he did regret all that, but I hope he did, because if he did indeed regretted all that stuff he did, because I've never really looked in too deep about his background or his, like, you know, what happened like before he died and how he died and all that. But one would hope that someone like that would have given their life to Christ, because it would be a huge testimony. Think about it. The wickedest man in the world like legitimately and genuinely turn to Christ before he dies would be like a huge deal, because it'd be like, dang, after all that, at the end of the day, before he died, he accepted Christ and he like repented from everything he did. That's crazy, because you got to remember, he's the father of occult practices and New Age practically. That would be a huge win for us if he did.
Jeffrey Dahmer supposedly found Christ in jail.
Yeah, I hope so, man. I really hope so. And I know the average, I know the average person would be like, oh, I hope he didn't because he deserves like what he got, blah, 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 blah. I get that. I understand the average mindset because,
we all
you know, I understand.
We all need mercy because, listen, again, this world ain't perfect, bro. There's something wrong with the world. This world's a cancer. There's a cancer going on in this world. And part of it's called sin.
Mm-hmm.
Wickedness and jealousy and envy. Just straight up, like, nigga, go find your wife and shut the fuck up. And for females, go find your husband and go have a family and shut the fuck up. Because if you found something you love and you want to live for, you wouldn't be a bitch. You wouldn't be a bitch. You know? The reality, there are pieces of shit amongst us. You know? And we don't know who's who. But going back to Jeffrey Dahmer. Nigga, you killed me, nigga. That's how blind and out of control your goofy ass is. And then when you realize that there is a hell, you find Christ.
Well, I mean, to be fair, the way they made it out to be in the docu-series or docu-movie or whatever, you know, he found God like organically and like naturally, like while in jail. If that's the way he found Christ, then, you know, like it seems more plausible that he you know, he potentially might have gotten saved. But even if he would have found God like through fear, you know, still
he still found Christ.
What were you gonna say?
Do you remember what I said? How I found Christ?
Yeah, I remember your testimony, but a lot of people here, I don't think have heard your testimony, so you can say it if you want. Say it again.
Christ when
you keep getting cut off. You're.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I hear you, but every now and then your words get cut off. Yeah, I hear you.
It's probably because we mentioned the Lord's name. But anyways, I found God while I was high. I wasn't sober.
Right. Yeah.
You heard me?
I remember you saying that.
So I look at it from a different point. Like I don't blame you for things because you never opened your door for that shit. But as a person who did it, guess what, bud? I'm looking for forgiveness and mercy because guess what? I'm gonna need it.
Yeah. You can keep talking, by the way. I'm just looking up the Aleister Crowley like biography thing.
Worse, Aleister Crowley or Jeffrey Dahmer? Did they both kill
I'll
people?
say Aleister Crowley, bro.
He kill people?
They both kill people, but Aleister Crowley has been known to have committed like mostly child sacrifice.
Oh wow. That's pretty crazy. Yeah. So what do you think?
So
did he find Christ? Did he find Christ before he died?
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh?
I'm trying to look for his like last words, but I am gonna ask Memo if you can, because apparently I'll say like you've already seen and like saw like what his last words were. But if Memo can put like a link or something like that in the live chat, and then I can like click the link and look at it and share it with everybody, that'd be pretty cool. But if not, don't worry about it. Emily says, God's grace is sufficient for you and his mercies are new each morning. Yep, that is true. That is true. It's all about how genuine you are with your repentance, because and I've always said this and I'll always say this, there's a difference between like saying I'm sorry and I repent, like verbally saying it, versus like being genuine about it and like saying it with the intent and with the genuine purpose behind it. Because there's people who say, oh, well, so people like God accepts any crazy person that says I'm sorry. No, it's not that he accepts any crazy person that says I'm sorry. It's he accepts and receives anyone who is genuine about their repentance and genuine about like them legitimately turning away from like their sin and like being genuine about being regretful and being actually like sorry of like the sins that they've committed and all that. So there's a huge difference. A lot of people mistake that for like, oh, anyone who says I'm sorry. No, that's not how that goes. It's the genuineness behind it, and only God and that person know the genuineness behind it. Emily says, God, yeah.
So, shit, I forgot what I was going to say. It has something to do with music.
Oh, okay.
Like, for instance, songs that I'm recording.
Right.
You know that,
right?
You
said what now? Say it again.
I want to call one of the albums called Super Troll, like Super Troll. Like I'm trolling.
I didn't know that until now, but okay. Okay.
You think I'd be making songs about trolling the world?
Do I think you'd be good at it?
No, wrong.
Oh, no, of course not. The world deserves to be trolled. What are you talking about?
Right.
The world as it is nowadays deserves. It's like begging to be trolled at this point. I'm serious. Like, I mean, the way things have been going down these last few years, I mean, it's not only begging for it, yeah. It's beyond begging for it. I can't find another word right now, but it's beyond begging for to be like mocked and ridiculed and bullied, basically. I'm gonna try to get the link Memo put up. Open up. Hold on. Hold on. I'm trying to let the website load so I can click on the link. By the way, if at any point in time we have informed you, we've made you think deep, or we've made you laugh, giggle, smile, whatever, thing, and if you can and want to, you don't have to, but if you can and want to, and you want to support myself, my family, or the team on this channel, there's different ways of doing that within that scrolling banner below me right now. So again, you don't have to, but if you can and want to, then please consider some of those options to bless myself, my family, or this channel. All right, I think I found the link that Memo put up.
What's it about again?
It's going to take a few seconds for it to load on my end, but
what's it about?
Aleister Crowley's last words before. Wait, did you hear me?
I can hear you.
Hello? Oh, I said the video is about apparently Aleister Crowley's last words before dying. Hold on. It's going to be interesting. Obviously, I don't know.
As words. But the biggest Satan, this is what that Anton LaVey, founder of the Church of Satan, last words spoken on deathbed. Oh my, what have I done? There's something very wrong. There's something very wrong. There's something very wrong. Then he died. Aleister Crowley, creator of the motto, do what thou wilt. Last words spoken on deathbed. I'm perplexed. Satan, get out! And then he also died. These were two of the biggest Satanists in history, and yet both of them died in fear and terror after living their life for Satan. Here's one of the witnesses of Anton LaVey's death describing what happened.
He was on his deathbed, and for a Satanist at the time of death, it's a great victory for them because death is a huge thing that they celebrate. And he was getting ready to die and pass on his powers and that. And on his deathbed, he must have got some revelation or an angelic appearance or something. And he went into shock and he said, oh my, what have I done? He said, there's something very wrong. There's something very wrong. There's something very wrong. Wow. And his whole life had been spent propagating these satanic beliefs, getting everyone to believe, establishing official organizations for Satanism. And then at the end of his life, he gets this light that comes to him, and everything that he built, he realized was wrong.
It's said that the death of Anton LaVey put so much fear in his fellow Satanists who witnessed it, they all turned to God after.
Now, I don't know how true that is, but if it is, then that would be a huge victory on our end, because again, it would serve as a testimony and as an example of, like, you know, even these people who were head deep into the worship towards Lucifer and all that they had to like repent before death, or they had that type of experience before death. You know, it's crazy. If it is true, then hey.
Does the name Satan sound good to you?
Nope, not at all. Even the sound of it sounds nasty.
So the fact that they were playing around with that shit, they can eat a dick. That nigga looks goofy as fuck anyway with his stupid ass goatee. With his stupid ass bald head. With your bullshit. You gotta be dumb. Who raised these motherfuckers? Nigga looking like Dracula.
Yeah, he did look like that, like Nosferatu or whatever.
I'm gonna create me a character and walk around the earth looking like a goofball. I can't believe these people, man. They did it to themselves, dog.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Hell yeah.
And I'm pretty sure, you know,
Listen,
Christ was presented to them many times.
So I would say, you know how that nigga said, oh, what have I done? Oh, something feels wrong, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you do with or acid, and you have a bad trip, it's gonna sound just like that. What have I done? And if you don't, if you're strong mind, yeah. But hey, everybody's a grown ass person making decisions in life. You know, so don't shoot the messenger. Because the messenger is trying to warn you. Yeah. What a fucking goofball, man. Right. Yeah. Where that nigga live at? In California?
Yeah. But at the same time, what?
California better watch it.
Say it again?
I said California better watch it. Because according to the border, a lot of Chinamen going to your state. Don't come to Florida, fuck niggas. Take your ass that away. Do not come to the Keys. We don't want you here, please. Not because I'm that nigga. You don't belong here. What the fuck you doing over here? What do y'all think this is? Can you imagine motherfuckers coming through your door? Coming through your country just like that?
No.
Taking over shit?
I can't imagine. Nope. I will say this. I am preparing myself. Listen well.
What?
And listen closely. With non-lethal defensive weaponry. Again, non-lethal defensive weaponry. That's what I'm gonna do.
You gonna do that?
Well, yeah. Aside from my guns and all that stuff, like I am trying to prepare myself, like with some type of like physical, like again, defensive weaponry, non-lethal. I have to make that very clear because the algorithm and the picking up of the voice and what I'm saying right now, I have to be extremely clear, like crystal clear, that I do not intend. I do not intend on killing anybody, but I do intend on protecting myself and my loved ones. So I'll just leave it at that. That's all I'm gonna say. Is yeah.
I don't even know why people even try or bother.
Yeah.
But going back, it's gonna be a doozy future. That's a lot of people. 30,000 people a month. 30,000 people a month. Count it up. Where are you going?
Yeah. Yeah, it is weird. Thankfully, I haven't really noticed much change in this area, which I'm not gonna say exactly where I live, but the town isn't too well known, thankfully. So it's like people will mostly flock to like the more known towns or cities like Miami, Orlando, and stuff like that, just because they're more popular, more prominent, or whatever. But thankfully, nobody knows about us. Yeah. I'm not gonna say where, but they'll be like, where? Don't you mean this other place?
Oh, nowhere, nigga. I'm gonna die here.
That's a sad way to think. I'm kidding.
Nigga, kingdom from within. So imagine all the films that I did, and I saw all the shit from the virtual reality perspective. Imagine when you actually die, what actually happens. You're in sync with the world. Meanwhile, your dead ass carcass is getting eaten up by vultures. Nigga, what's that movie say? You said leave behind the world, or leave behind. What'd you say?
Leave the world behind.
Leave the world behind. Yeah, I think that's how you should look at the world. Because the world's evil, nigga.
That's what the Bible. The Bible has been said this since the very beginning. It says, if you're friends with the world, you're enemies with me. God, that's God talking. Do you know what I mean? So it's like we've been warned like way in advance. Like, do not love the world or anything in it. You know?
So when you say that, what comes to your mind? Like, do not love the world. Because you were born in this world, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do we serve the world for giving us life?
Of course not. We serve God and God alone. But the thing is, we have to be smart about deciphering and separating what is of God and what is of the world. So everything that's of God, what is of the world is anything that keeps you away from God. So like there's pleasures in this world and of this world, right? That just lead you astray. Right? Now, within those things, we have to be careful and we have to, again, learn to decipher and separate, what is of God. Okay, for example, I'll give you a good example, okay? Now, we've talked about this in the past, so this is not new to you, but thank you, Emily. Sex, right? Or love, right? Right. Sex in itself is of God because God is the creator of sex, right? Now, there are boundaries and there's guidelines on how sex is to be like, like had, right? Once you go outside those boundaries that God put in place for sex, which is like marriage and, all this good stuff, when you do that outside of what God intended, that's where you have STDs. That's where you have unwanted pregnancies. That's when you have problems with promiscuity. That's where you have problem with like porn and all this other stuff. If you keep it within the confines of what God created it for, you're golden. You're good to go. Like it's all gravy. But once you do that outside of how God intended it for it to be, that's when we have all sorts of problems. So that's one of those things where it's like, it's of God if done God's way, right? But then you have things like drugs and, whatever type of like substance alters your mind or way of thinking or whatever. That is not of God. Like,
I think it's the world.
Well, he's quoting you.
True. Shit.
So like mind altering drugs like psychedelics, like if the book of Enoch is true, then we learn that the fallen angels were the ones who even taught mankind about that. So already right off the bat, it's not of God. You know what I mean?
Guess what? This world ain't holy.
Why are you telling me like that?
I fuck so holy that you won't eat some pussy.
I want to walk towards whatever God wants me to walk towards. I just leave it like that.
But we live in a fallen world.
Right.
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 Nothing that's before us is perfect.
Of course not. Of course not. Right.
And so, yeah, do we strive to be the good old kid in the block? But nigga. Bully nigga.
That part though.
I don't have a bad attitude, but I got a bad attitude for that shit. But again, like, nigga, I don't know what to say because everybody's walk is different. You found Christ You were sober, right? In church or outside the church?
Sober and in church.
Inside church? So see, I was outside.
Yep.
I was hot. You know what I mean? I was outside and I was high.
I get that.
I like this. That anyone who calls on the name of the Lord shall be saved. Okay? Like Antoine LaVey. So this fuck nigga should have been known that, bitch, guess what? This ain't your world. And you should have known better. So, nigga, anybody who don't know the name of the Lord is goofy. Goofy.
Yeah. That's one way of calling it, yeah.
Oh, for not knowing this shit.
See, look, Todd White. That's another great testimony, which we'll get to another day. But I think I am gonna start calling it close to tonight's show, only because it's getting late, really late.
Take a little snippet of Cream of the Gobblers.
By all means.
You sure?
Share with the people here. Yeah, I'm okay with it.
Jesus song.
Yes, let it be known the songs that Kiko's currently working on are not Christ-centered at all. They're just
time.
What?
It's the year of the heel.
No, that's what he might be calling the album. Is the year of the heel.
You ready for it?
Yep.
Yo, throw a thumbs up if it sounds loud enough or something. And throw thumbs down if it sounds staggering or some shit.
Okay.
You hear me? All right. And tell me if it's too loud. Go like this. If it's lower it down or lift it up or whatever. And by the way, this is trolling. This is not to be taken serious. Okay? Because some people are really just soft. But I don't give a fuck, nigga, because I got to get paid.
Years and years of that, women are.
Oh, shit.
Years and years of that, women are able to get over relationships easier, and they're willing to monkey branch to other men quicker. That's an evolutionary adaptation that women had because men have been replaceable throughout history.
All the loyal women are dead, and we're just left with the cream of the crop of true Jesus Christ glorified. Now, just a random fact. Lord have mercy on me because I don't like flat booty. No disrespect to me. I don't know about you though. Look at your ass, baby. Eating it is fat every day. Go ask your baby mama. Why you hate on me? You already got a woman. Go eat her. Pussy. It's free. Duh. What's wrong with your mind? Who the fuck is you? I'm talking about talking about some bullshit like a female. You want to be me? Why do you think you want to be? No, I'm going to put you over the other.
Oh my goodness.
Did you hear that shit?
I want to say like more than half of it, yeah.
I don't know if it was that. That one's called The Cream of the Gobblers.
Okay.
It was stupid as shit, right?
Yeah. I will agree with that.
I was trying to go as stupid as I could. By the way, that was a freestyle.
God.
Nigga, none of that shit was written.
Veronica says, I heard some of it, and I know what parts Veronica heard, and I'm sorry, Veronica. I'm sorry you had to hear some of it. She heard the P word so many times.
No, it's trolling season, Nick. It's trolling. It's trolling season. Yeah. It's troll. It's the year of the troll.
If anyone wants to like help support Kiko on his journey, he's free to like leave the link in the live chat if he wants to, and y'all could like help him out with once these songs come out, of course, because they're not out yet. Once they come out, you can support them through there. But I think you're gonna drop them on Spotify or where? Because I know like DistroKid, like it'll distribute it throughout all platforms, right? Like Spotify, Apple Music, and all that.
Well, I'm making what I just currently did is 3 volumes. It's like a series.
Okay, all right.
First album's gonna be called Year of the Heel.
Okay.
And then yeah, I'll leave further notice in the future. But the first one called Year of the Heel. But then I also want to Love You More album. Yeah,
that's the one I'm actually waiting for.
Nigga, I'll try to do that before my birthday or my birthday. I mean,
the sooner you get it out, the better.
The problem is it costs a lot of money. The shit that you just heard me do, that was freestyle for the free. I'm not buying the beat. I'm just gonna release it, and whatever happens, happens. Guess what? Because it's for free. Who gives a shit? I could freestyle all day if I wanted to. I can make 1,000 songs if I felt like it. That shit ain't nothing. This shit is goofy.
True.
You know? So the songs that are really like the ones that I really love, no one's taking publishing rights from me. This shit, whoever eats off the plate because it's some dumb shit. That's the way I look at it. So, I decided to make fuck nigga music. Hopefully, I can go back to what I was doing before I got pissed off at the world.
Right.
Because I got to go back to being peace.
So
back to walking in love and being in peace in my own state of mind. So it's trolling people with it. It is what it is, you know. Anyway, we getting out of here?
Yeah. But before we do, I got just one last thing to share, and so we could end things on a good note, on a happy note. This is something that I already talked about when it first happened, but I haven't talked about it in depth. So I just want to bring it up real quick, like very briefly, just kind of like skim through it real quick. But recently, Daddy Yankee and officially, openly, publicly ended a longtime feud with Don Omar, right? And yes, Memo's asking is if you are my family, and yes, he is my cousin. This is a fun fact for those of you who are new to the channel. Yes, we are indeed cousins from my dad's side. But let me read this article real quick, and then we'll start closing things up officially. So it says here, the reggaeton singers came to fame talking about Daddy Yankee and Don Omar. It says the reggaeton singers came to fame in the early 2000s as pioneers in the genre, and there was always competition between them, but things seemingly took a turn during their co-headlining the Kingdom Tour, Daddy Yankee versus Don Omar in 2015 and 16. Yankee acknowledged in his caption that Omar has also done great things for this genre, which divided them. Today I feel at ease knowing that that was left behind, and we are an example that we can have differences, but there will always be room for forgiveness, he wrote. You have also been a great opponent, and I will never stop acknowledging everything you have also done for our movement. The singer, whose real name is Ramon Luis Ayala Rodriguez, continued. I hope our last round, this is the important part, the part that I want y'all to listen to. He says, I hope our last round is against the enemy of souls, fighting together in the army of the Lord.
That's dope.
It is. It's extremely powerful. It's really motivating. It's inspiring. And I think that's like the main thing to take away from all this.
I think I told you a long time ago in one of our streams that I expected them to return to the Lord.
Yeah. Yeah, we did talk about that.
Huh?
Yeah, we did talk about that. You did mention that, yeah.
Yeah, because there's no way around Jesus Christ, nigga. There's no way around Jesus. And if anybody don't understand that shit, guess what, bitch? No one gives a shit about your bullshit. Because you're a bitch who doesn't understand life. You think this world belongs to you? No. Yeah, I'm the wrong nigga.
Oh, man. I mean, I guess that's technically still ending things on a high note.
Fuck, nigga. Yo, can you imagine we brought Francie on this bitch?
Oh, man, the world is not ready for Francie. Like, I don't think anyone here is ready for his stories. It would be great if we could have him on at least one time. Like, I'm sure everyone would want him back after the one time of him sharing his stories from back in the olden days. Oh my goodness. But anyways, Gigo, you have any last words for the people before we close things officially tonight?
Nigga, just God bless everybody. Everybody who doesn't understand that. We ain't friends anyways. You know?
Yeah.
When I look at this world, I expect them to hate people who stand up for God. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking at the world sideways, nigga. I'm gonna look at the world sideways till I probably die.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sad.
Well, remember, we again, as always, we were warned about this because Jesus did say, like, you know, the world will hate you for my cause, like like because of me, like basically. And it's been true, like all this time. Like the only religion, quote unquote, or faith that has been hated on like the most openly, publicly, has been Christianity. And there's no way around it. I mean, you could see it everywhere. Like if someone dares to say something about Islam or any other religion, like something happens to them, right?
Yeah,
but with like Christianity, with Christianity, it's like open target, open season to just mock us and try to ridicule us and try to like downplay us and try to, you know, disrespect us left and right. And we're supposed to just sit there and take it because we're Christians and we're supposed to like turn the other cheek. But there comes a moment where we've turned the cheek already so many times. So, but yeah, that's exactly right, Memo. Because they hated him first. They hated the one person who gave him access to heaven and eternal life.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I'm glad you said that. This is why I talk the way I do now. Because I could be a nice ass person coming with you with some bullshit. God bless you. Nah, you know what? Sit your ass down. That's how I look at this shit.
The kingdom does need a lot of bold people to stand up against the mockery, because it's one thing to turn the other cheek, and it's another thing to continuously allow ourselves to be like stomped all over. No, there's a difference. You know, I'll turn the cheek once, maybe twice, but a third time, it's like you don't know what I'm gonna do. So,
you know,
but anyways,
is because you ain't trying to start shit, and you trying to go home, walk in peace, and blah blah blah. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Well, hey, what? Who wins the war at the end? Who wins the war in the end?
Oh,
Matter of fact, Ben won the war.
Yeah.
Who Ben won the war?
Those of us who are in Christ have already won.
We're fools.
Mm-hmm.
Not my fault, nigga. That's your fault. Don't get mad at me because I am who I am because of Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? Everybody preaches a different type of Jesus Christ, bro.
Exactly.
You got people out here who are homosexuals preaching the gospel. You know, I'm pretty sure in their mind they're like, well, as long anyone who calls the name of the Lord shall be saved. I hope so, nigga. Because in the kingdom of heaven ain't no homosexuality, nigga. Period. Ain't no thugs, ain't no thug mansion, none of that bullshit. Ain't no Tupac song for shit. None of that shit, nigga. You ain't making songs to worship God. I don't know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
This is why I decided to make troll music.
For now.
And it's only troll season. Trolling season is done, nigga. Welcome to the end of time.
All right. I'm gonna take it that those are your last words to the public.
I know. God bless. Ah! Ah! God bless everybody. They be like, man, how can you curse and say bless? Nigga, I said God bless you. Nigga act like I cursed that. I never cursed that.
That should be on a shirt. It should be.
Really think about it. You rewind, you'll see that I wasn't cursing at anybody. If anything, I rather bless than being in jail.
There should be a T-shirt, and we about to make it happen at some point that says, "Nigga," and then coma. I said ... God bless you.
You might as well do it, bro.
Oh man, they would sell out so fast, yo.
There's a lot of copycats.
I know. I should get to work right away.
I won't be surprised after I drop this trolling album.
Mm-hmm.
People gonna as rappers.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. But yeah, everybody's saying good night, so I'm gonna let Kiko go, and then say my final goodbyes and all that. Kiko, thanks for stopping by, bro.
Man, I'm about to record later.
Do it.
Later, bro.
So, since everyone is saying their good nights, I will start saying mine. It is going to be 11:30 p.m. Eastern time, so it is extremely late. But I am also happy and glad that I was able to spend time with you guys. Thank you for giving me a little bit of your time. I appreciate it. Like I said earlier in the stream, if you can help through allowing or like letting many of the streams and like the longer videos play in the background on mute while you sleep, that will help out the channel tremendously, and we will appreciate it. And also, if we made you laugh tonight, we made you smile, giggle, whatever, informed you, and you want to bless myself, my family, or the channel, all right? Again, as always, you don't have to, but if you can and want to, the different ways of doing that is in that scrolling banner below me, all right? And also, here, this is actually another way. But yeah, that being said, I love every single one of you guys. I really appreciate the love and support you guys always show myself, Gigo, and the rest of the team on this channel. Emily, Memo, Veronica. It's kind of weird that William wasn't here tonight, but I know Rod was here also. and a few other people that I couldn't see the names of right away, but I'm sure there was more people that were here at some point, because at some point we did have over 10 people at once. So yeah, to everyone and anyone who was here throughout the stream or who's going to watch this afterwards, thank you for watching this to the very end. We appreciate it. God bless you. May the Lord always be with you guys. Stay safe and blessed out there. And until next time, as always, this is JDQ with VISIONEYEVIEWTV. God bless and peace out.